Hi. So we're going to be doing new game Madhouse run. Well, some new game plus items, but no bonus weapons, no infinite ammo. So, yeah.
Are you going to skip story stuff?
You really can't skip anything in this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unlike Village, that you can skip everything. This game you can skip almost nothing.
Wow, that's really annoying for someone who wants to play this game multiple times.
Yeah. You can skip most of the tapes, like the flashback tapes, but...
So I'm going to go ahead and say it right now that I'm not going to hold off from Village spoilers in this. Yeah. So just consider that this is obviously a spoiler for Biohazard because he's playing it, but also Village. We're not going to be, like, holding our punches on that.
Yeah.
So just fair warning. So Mia is pretty cool.
She's kind of an idiot. I mean, Ethan is the biggest moron, but...
But he's the biggest cool moron.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I played this, I was like, these graphics were intensely good. Yeah. They're still very good.
I think the one area of... I think this is the first RE Engine game, which is like Capcom's like proprietary engine. And I think... Going back to 2017, I mean, this came out in, like, 2017 in January. I think the weakest part about this game is, like, the facial scanning. Characters look kind of ugly, but it works in his favor as well, because most of the bakers are, like, just completely insane, so them looking like 2 out of 10s works.
Do you feel bad for Zoe? Do you feel bad for the bakers in general?
Well...
They didn't ask for it.
Yeah, I feel bad for bakers.
I especially feel bad for Jack, and I guess, but Mia wasn't changed. I kind of forget a lot in the story in this game.
Yeah, so I really wanted to revisit this game, so my original plan was to play this game, like, a month before Village came out, but I kind of, like...
Look at that. Look at how good that is. That...
I think that's, like, half CG, half, like, real-time.
God.
So once we start looking around, you'll see that it's, like, actual real-time footage around the car. It's kind of odd. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
That looks worse. I don't know why it looks worse, but that's definitely just a 3D camera, and then the car is rendered. But they do some This game is all about camera tricks. So you'll notice that when Ethan gets out of his car, he looks down at the stick shift or whatever.
And when that happens, something shows up or something.
Yeah, you don't see the outside, and now the outside's fully rendered.
Oh, yep, there we go. Check out my most recent completed cast, episode 69. Nice.
Yeah, very timely. Spencer did that literally yesterday.
And I was I was like, I'm going to do a podcast, and I was like, what should I do it about? And I was like, you know what? I feel strongly that Resident Evil Village, wait for it, is better than Resident Evil 4. I said it. And you know what? I mean, you can watch it. It's only about 20 minutes long. I give my rationale. And I don't like to be one of those people that, like, hates or loves something, like, brand new, you know? Like, this is the best movie or game of all time, or it's the worst or whatever, but I've played it enough now. I've played that game a lot. And it's...
Yeah, both of us have.
Amazing! It's just amazing.
Spencer just platinumed the game, I'm 1 trophy off, and we all know what the trophy is. The stupid S rank, all mercenaries.
I did the SS rank, and I got the lightsaber. For no reason. I used it for like 5 seconds. Also, I saved at the part that was worst for it, for using, because like you would think, oh, you want to use that lightsaber where there's a bunch of enemies. I saved right before Castle Demetru, so I literally had to play like 10 minutes before I could even use it.
I heard that it's not that good. Is it actually good?
Well, okay, on normal mode, it killed the first sister in 1 hit. I don't know if that means anything. That's as far as I got. Also, shout out to Resident Evil Biohazard's, I almost said preview, demo, which was generally what you're doing right now, but it was, like, completely different.
Yeah.
And that's, God, how cool is that?
They played off PT's hype perfectly. Like, PT came out in, I think, 2016 at some point, or maybe later 2015, and people were like, oh, man, I can't wait for... whatever this is, it's so mysterious and cool. And then obviously that got canceled, Silent Hills, and Konami exploded.
I gotta be honest.
And then they made this, and Resident Evil 7, as of right now, other than Monster Hunter World, is their best-selling game. And I think it's all because of they released it at the perfect time to revive the series.
And that demo really killed it.
So this tape you can skip. It shows you the hidden lever underneath the chimney. But we're doing this for a very specific reason, because we're going to get an antique coin in it. There's actually some sort of like weird time travel in it. I'll explain what I mean. But unfortunately, this is like 5 minutes long. But it's funny.
What was I gonna say?
Where is it? I saw it. So there's a lockpick hidden behind where you start.
I never do that.
So in Madhouse, obviously it is a much harder difficulty with custom enemy layouts and custom item layouts. And one of the things that they change a lot is the antique coin system, where in standard mode there's like 15, 18 coins, and you just get like a stabilizer, a steroid that increases your HP, and then the magnum. That's pretty much it. But in this one, there is 33 coins and a lot more bird cages to unlock stuff. It's still the same stuff as standard mode, but they add some coins that you really need for damage output. Because, interestingly, the difficulty in this game, in every single difficulty, the enemies all have the same amount of HP. It's just that difficulties mitigate your damage more and more. So in Madhouse, we're pretty much always doing 0.6 to 0.5 times damage to everything. And there's like a hidden... I know so much about this game now. There's like a hidden rank meter that goes from 0 to 9,999. And on Madhouse, you start at 8,500, which is... And it goes down to like minimum of 8,000, something like that. And when you're in the 8,000 to 9,000 range, you do 0.6 times damage. And once you're above 9,000, you do 0.5 times damage. And all the recent Resident Evils have a mechanic like that where they scale difficulty based off your performance. So the more damage you do, the less damage you take, the more the ranking will go up. And if you die or get hurt or whatever, the ranking will go down. So if you ever played like Resident Evil Remake 2, and like you're like shooting zombies and they take 15 headshots, that's the reason why. Alright, so we're using the lockpick right here. So in the flashback video, there's nothing here other than just some random photo.
But now it's open.
I can't even tell what it is. I guess it's Evie?
Evelyn? Yeah, it looks like it.
But
now it's open when you go back.
In the future, Ethan can open it and there's the antique coin.
Cool.
And the way that I have this planned out is we have very specific coin thresholds that I need to reach before certain boss fights and certain events. And it is like the most perfect route in terms of getting coins of exactly when you need them.
Andre. Question of the part number 1. Is this game's demo the last time anyone cared about any sort of demo?
Yeah, it's like demos are dying.
I mean, demos nowadays, they're almost always, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're like play the first blank of the game, right? It's like play the first 30 minutes of the game or hour or whatever.
Oh, by the way, the guy in front of us is actually... it's kind of funny because he just left Capcom, but he was the producer of Resident Evil 7 and 8. This guy, I forget his name. His name's I don't remember.
Why the heck would he produce 8 and then leave Capcom?
I have no idea. I think he actually went to Bungie for some reason.
Oh.
Probably just all money. I have no idea.
Where the fuck is he?
What does Bungie make anyway anymore? Destiny 3?
Destiny 2 Infinite expansions. I don't know. If you're in the Bungie, like, Destiny web, like, you're gonna stay there for the rest of your life, but it seems like it's, like, a closed ecosystem of just, like, I don't know. I never hear anyone talk about Destiny.
Well, imagine starting now. Imagine just picking up Destiny 2 and be like, I'm starting, and people are at level, like, 5 billion.
Yeah, it's like, the problem is that, like, when you make a new game, you basically have to restart everything, and then when Destiny 2 came out, I remember people being like, oh, my stats and items from the first game, I want them. But when you just make one game and just expand on it forever, then it's like impossible for newcomers to start playing it. RIP.
How do you even get in there?
We weren't paying attention. I should have looked at... he actually walks off into the hallway, but there's an invisible wall so you can't follow him. But you can track him actually leaving the room.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, that's the only tape we're going to be seeing. And it's just because of that coin. In fact, I'm going to go back and get it right now while I'm thinking about it, because me forgetting it, I would be the most upset. It's a little out of the way, but whatever.
The big question becomes, are you going to save Mia or Zoe?
There's no choice. Spoilers for 2 hours from now. If you pick Zoe, she dies anyway. Immediately. So
Really? Because I never picked her.
Yeah. Zoe gets controlled by Evelyn and just dies on the boat.
Cool.
Right before the tanker. And you actually still play the tanker portion as Mia. The only difference is that, you know when Mia saves Ethan from the mold at the very end of the tanker? There's an extra fight where you have to melee her with a crowbar. And on Madhouse, I do not want to do that.
Oh, question the part number 2 for Alex or anyone. I just had it at the top of my head. That choice in this game where you have to choose either your wife, Mia, or some random girl that's like kind of helped you but not really.
Yeah.
And you met like that day, and you can only save one of them, and they're like, "Oh, which do you choose?" Is that the stupidest decision, like game-altering decision in video game history?
It certainly is pretty bad.
Please let us know below. And I'm not talking about like I'm playing Raw Danger right now, and there's like dialogue options. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like a thing that will affect the game.
Yeah.
Is there something more stupid?
And you only meet Zoe in person twice. Like,
Yeah.
Obviously, you talk to her a bunch on the phone, but you meet her right before the Jack fight, and
Was
then
she like
right
your
after
pen
the Jack
pal?
fight.
She's like your phone pal or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, and she's not even like that nice to you. It's like, what kind of choice is
And then
that?
she gets like mad when she's like, "Oh, of course you'd pick your wife." It's like, yeah, I didn't come here to save you. I came here to save friggin' Mia. You know. Mia?
Man, it's been so long since I did this. I have like so many saves for every like key moment of this game, so I haven't done the intro of this game in
Okay.
a while.
What's harder, since you played both, without any New Game Plus items? Madhouse on Biohazard or Village of Shadows on Village?
Oh, Village of Shadows new game is 10 times harder than
Okay,
Madhouse.
I was hoping.
Because
I tried, and I literally couldn't get past that first, like, village encounter.
oh yeah, the first villager that you see, the Lycon, you don't have enough ammo to kill, and you have to run into the house, get the bolt cutters, and just run around them.
Yep. Well, no, I meant when all the enemies show up. I literally, no matter how much I tried, couldn't do
Oh
it.
yeah. It's just, as much as I like Village and Village of Shadows difficulty, it wasn't designed for new game.
No, it's not.
The entire game, especially even when you're upgrading weapons, because in new game the Duke segments when you can get upgrades, depending on how far you are, which I'm really not a fan of. I don't even like it in RE4. I think you should be able to just get all the upgrades if you want to, if you want to min-max. Because like the later upgrades cost so much more than the earlier upgrades.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, like, I mean, you haven't done new game in a while, but they segment the upgrades.
Okay.
But yeah, Village of Shadows is if you want to see someone be extremely upset at Resident Evil Village, Carcinogen did a no damage new game Village of Shadows.
Oh God!
And it's 6 hours of him saying that it's the worst difficulty ever made. Even a speedrunner, a god tier speedrunner, hates it with a passion.
Well, that's not meant to be a no damage one.
Yeah.
I'm telling you everything that I know.
I don't know. I thought Village of Shadows was awesome. It made it like a new game.
Yeah.
Like a new experience.
I think people just don't like New Game Plus because, in terms of a speedrun category, from like a speedrunner's perspective, is New Game Plus means that you can have everything unlocked. So
yeah, because you can't put an asterisk there.
Why would you use like a slightly upgraded shotgun, which is what you would naturally be using in New Game Plus, like your first time, as opposed to infinite magnum, one shot everything?
Yeah.
Or infinite ammo rocket launcher.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I've seen that there are people that can beat the dang thing very fast on New Game, but
it's like if
crap.
I put this in the speedrun.com for some reason, it wouldn't be a valid category. It would be New Game Plus, but it'd be I'm limiting myself to no infinite ammo and no circular saw.
So you'd just be in last place.
Yeah. But like circular saw and infinite ammo makes this game, even on Madhouse, just boring.
It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Honey. Whoa.
I didn't mean to.
I saw what you did. Hello, Mia.
No, I'll just look at this doll. Yeah.
I will say that.
Dang, in an area I couldn't see what was happening.
Biohazard was a more. I mean, obviously it sold more than Village. Like, just because it was, like, the first person and whatever.
Village also has only been out for, what, 3 months?
Yeah. I just don't have enough good things to say about Village. When I first played this, like, the first couple times through, we were like, man, this is really good. But there's a point where it is not good for a while. Whereas Village doesn't really have that.
Yeah, so I would say that the first half of this game I actually like better than Village, but the second half of this game is garbage.
Yeah. And I don't think it was a money thing. I think it was just a decision thing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like the Mia tanker section is just trash. And like you can kind of understand why they do it, because as the game goes on, they give you like the rocket launcher and like the shotgun. They can't make the game harder other than throwing a bunch of enemies at you.
Yeah.
So they want to like restart you. They give Mia nothing. In fact,
ooh, girl!
On Madhouse, Mia doesn't get the handgun until like 80% through the tanker. You literally only have a knife for a while.
I forget, except for the very end of Village, does Ethan get more BTFO'd in this game or in Village? I feel like he constantly gets BTFO'd in this game.
He gets decimated in both games.
Yeah, pretty much.
Spoilers, even though we already said it, but spoilers for RE8. I mean, in RE8 he literally dies at the end.
That's why I said except for the end,
yeah.
You know. But I mean, he gets his hand cut off here.
So one thing we're going to be doing constantly is animation canceling. So if you use the block, you can cancel animations for like recovery, especially for first aid things. The animation for the recovery is way longer than when it activates. And you'll see that for reloading too, because this game is all about reloading, because everything has so little ammo capacity. You really need to use reload or animation canceling good. Alright, so we're going to kind of cheese this fight. If we walk over here, she will always do this grab to throw us back in the room. So we do one swing, and we go over here and wait for her to throw us back.
Yeah.
So
I mean, cheesing the hardest difficulty is not a big deal.
Yeah. So I think we have to hit her like about like 12, 13, 14 times.
Yikes.
So we're at 3. But yeah. Especially this beginning section, it's very hard, because these fights are so scripted in terms of having custom animations that if you just swing at her willy-nilly, she will do like automatic counters that you can't avoid.
I don't even know if that counted.
Sounded like it, but who knows.
I think we're at 7 if that one counted.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest, as a married person, I want to say that this is pretty much every Thursday night for me.
Yeah. Ashley has the mold and can take infinite damage.
Well, she comes at me with the chancla, which is Spanish for like slipper or sandal.
Right,
That's what they do.
I'll do one more. So what we want to do, because she doesn't really have an HP bar. Oh, we actually might have got it now. Cool. So when she starts charging at you when she's at 0 HP, you have the guard to activate that custom animation, because you can't actually like just strike her and kill her. It has to be in that way.
Also, the Platinum Trophy for Village is just called Ethan Winters. Absolutely based. Oh, and I went to my...
I picked it up before it started ringing.
Rip. I went to my friends in my football chat and posted the picture of the Platinum, and they were like,
Do I just have to walk over here?
The one person was like, I don't get it. Like, do like trophies like appear on a leaderboard somewhere, or like what's the deal? And I was like, what? I'm like, I never grind trophies. I just love this game so much.
Oh, I can't see his trophies. I got the platinum for this, but I don't remember what it's called.
I was like,
nothing Kino.
I was like, I love the game. I wanted to get it, and they were like, I just don't understand. Like, can you like compare it to others? And one guy was like, oh, you compare it to friends on your friends list if you have any. And I was like, bros, I just wanted to gloat for one game. I like literally never platinum games. I'm not George. George will get games that suck and just play them to platinum, and I'm like,
right.
Okay. Like, I'll never... Even FF7, I loved FF7, and originally I was like, I'm going to platinum it, and then I was like, man, this is boring as hell. So I didn't, and I won't. But I was like, bros, just one time I just wanted to be like, look at this. And they were like, I don't understand. What's the point in that? And I'm like,
you didn't get any monetary gain.
What's the point in living?
Yeah. It's like, the point of living is to make yourself happy.
It's like, I guess the sun's gonna become a red giant in like 10 billion years. I better not platinum Resident Evil Village.
It's okay.
Oh, so one thing I found out about this game that I had no idea about is that the Japanese version is censored like pretty heavily because the Sero is rating system is more hardcore about blood and gore, which I don't know. America is so weird about ratings. It's like you can chop off someone's arm and be fine, but boobs are not. Whatever. I don't want to get into it. But in this, the Japanese version, Mia doesn't cut off Ethan's arm. It just makes like a big gash. And the Japanese version is ran because the shorter animations or missing animations makes it quicker.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Thank god that Ethan already is infected.
I actually don't know if you would get cut, if your arm would get cut off that quickly. I'm not saying you can't get cut off with the chainsaw. You definitely could.
Yeah. Also,
but I feel like it would take more than 2 seconds.
You would definitely not be bleeding this little, too. So you can already tell that Ethan's mold boy already.
When did he get it? Just like when he like arrived? I kind of forget.
It's like the mold is very infectious, so it's probably pretty immediately. I mean, we'll get into when Ethan dies, and it happens pretty fast in this game.
My god.
One thing about Madhouse is that you need cassettes to save, but it really is a non-issue. They give you so many cassettes. But you really need to save. If you're like not very good at this game, you should save all the time because auto-saving is heavily reduced in this. Alright, so this is honestly one of the hardest parts of the entire playthrough. We have to fight Mia again, and we're giving 27 bullets. And you basically have to score about 20 headshots on Mia, because headshots do double damage. So you have to be very precise. I'm going to be playing this pretty carefully and, like, keep away. So on standard, I mean, I don't know how anyone else did it, but I just used, like, the hatchet and just wailed on her, and it's fine. I'm going to get a couple easy shots. So what we're going to try to do is use these doors to block her way. And
that's so cool.
When that happens, she is in a state that's a lot easier to headshot. Missed 2 shots. That's not good. Alright, so this is kind of funny. You can definitely hear her right in front of her. In fact, her hair's clipping through the door. But, watch this. Okay. Teleports behind you.
Nothing personal, kid.
Literally. I'm gonna play it safe, whatever. Alright, so this one's weird. We don't want to shoot her too much because we want to draw her to... I missed that shot.
What?
Alright, so we want to go in this door. And she's gonna chainsaw this door. So I'm probably gonna have to use the hatchet, but the way that I play this... Oh god, she's over there. What? Why did she do that? Thank you, dog.
Thank you, dog!
Alright, so I'm like in a kind of awkward spot.
I also take 20 headshots.
It's fine.
Everyone is relying on me. Everyone.
Okay.
So as far as I'm aware, she doesn't really start dashing at you unless you are actively looking at her. Which is nice, I guess. So this fight's not going super well, but at least I'm not dead yet.
Imagine this game without quick turn.
Alright, that was... Oh! I clutched that out, dude. Didn't have to use the hatchet.
By the way, speaking of what I just said about the quick turn,
What have I done?
this
Too
one...
bad that Ethan doesn't say a single thing about this. Like, not even just like, Mia, why?
He's so much better in Village. Anyway, so I was watching a guy, like, giving SSS rank mercenary stuff for Village. Like, he was, like, showing his playthrough. And this one guy, I was so mad. Welcome to the family, son!
So, another Village spoiler. Ethan literally dies to this curb stomp. He is dead.
Rip.
It's revealed by Evelyn's essence at the end of Village that, yeah, he's permanently Mold Boy now.
I just don't know, Jack. I don't know. Anyway, so the guy gets SSS rank and everything, and he never uses quick turn. And I'm like, I hate you.
So the thing about Quick Turn is that it's good for consoles, because obviously
He played on console.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, like, you are stuck in place during Quick Turn, so even if you, like, walk backwards and slowly turn around, it's probably still faster to not use Quick Turn. But it certainly feels a lot better on console.
Wait, if Ethan died right there, how does he have a kid?
That's a good question. Mold balls.
Mold kid? Alright, question of the part number 2,
I mean,
lads.
I guess Mia's... I mean, she gets the serum, but... it's hard to say, because she's still, like, possessed by Evelyn.
So hypothetically, if
I really don't know.
if Ethan gave the serum to himself, would he just die?
It's time for supper.
Or would he be a human again?
It's really hard to say, because they say that the serum is good for someone where the infection didn't progress too far. So, an hour and a half from now, we're going to inject Jack with the serum, and then he immediately dies.
Right.
But when you inject the serum to Mia, she doesn't, so I guess it just depends on what stage you are in. So the first 30 minutes of this game are really scary. This first section with Jack is...
Oh god, yeah. I had to, like, stop playing.
And on Madhouse, I don't know how much we're actually going to see it, but Jack moves like 2 times as fast on Madhouse. He actually is moving so fast that the animation looks weird, because he's still like, he's like power walking, but like he is going twice as fast, so he's like... Oh god. Can we talk about how Ethan has the worst life of all time?
So that was actually part of my question to part number 2. Out of all the playable characters in Resident Evil, only playable characters, where roughly would you put Ethan?
In terms of how much suffering he has, or how much
no,
you
just
like
in
him?
general, like how much you like him.
I like Leon more. But Chris and... I mean, original Resident Evil 2 Claire is fine.
If Chris was only...
But Claire and, like, Code Veronica and Rev 2 is such a nothing character.
If Chris was only in 1 in Code Veronica, I'd say Chris, but they pooped him up.
Even in Resident Evil Remake, Chris is just kind of whatever.
So I'm going to say Barry's better. I'm going to say Leon's better. But I want to say that's it, off the top of my head. Jill becomes lame. Chris becomes lame. Claire becomes lame.
Alright, so Jacko's going to pop out over here. He's not going to notice us, but we actually want him to notice. So we want to lure him over to the dining room, because he has a custom animation for this table. So I guess he lost sight of us. He's gonna walk into here. All right. So instead of attacking us, he's gonna go for the table. So we're gonna run away.
What the heck?
And hopefully... Okay, good. Alright, so we really want to... This is tight. He is really fast. So we want to go over here, close the door, okay, and then open this door and run over here real fast. And he's going to lose track of us, and we got the key for the hatchway. And we want to touch this door because it spawns the cop faster. You really don't need to do it, but whatever.
What? That's so random.
There. Give me the trunk. Okay. Open, you piece of crap. It goes so slow and you can't drop it until it's fully... Okay. We did that perfectly. I'm so happy. That is so nerve-wracking.
My God.
Because if Jack catches us in the room with the trapdoor, he cuts off our leg. And he gives us a first aid because he's insane, but it's not a pretty sight. Maybe I should have turned it off anyway, but getting away from him after that is very hard. Alright. So there's a herb over here, make a first aid spray. So in this item crate there's going to be a whole bunch of items. So I'm not going to use any of the coins other than the one antique coin or like DLC things, so I'm definitely not using those. And all of this stuff is New Game Plus stuff. X-ray glasses is always giving you psychostimulant status, which is you can see all the items in the room. I have this game memorized, so I don't need it. Circular Saw is basically the chainsaw, but even better, and makes the entire game a joke. Secret of Defense and Essence of Defense is when you're guarding, you take less damage, and we're actually going to be using that for the second half of the game, mostly for Mia, because I just hate that section. And walking shoes are pretty useless. It's just, you can walk faster, but not run faster, so... Alright, so... Very interestingly, they give you a Neuro Round right away, and Neuro Rounds are like the strongest ammo in the game, even more than like Magnum rounds, but they give you a separating agent because Madhouse doesn't really give you a lot of high-powered chemicals immediately to like craft like incendiary grenades and stuff like that, so sometimes you have to break down stuff. But hopefully we get lucky and get some drops from crates for like strong first aids. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I guess I should... No, I don't want to save yet. Okay, so get a call from Zoe.
Ahoy hoy!
You did good, Ethan.
Zoe, right? What the fuck are you?
Shut up and listen if you want to stay alive.
She's not even nice.
You gotta get out of that house. It might be a
Well,
walk to the main hall.
Ethan is a stupid idiot, so you gotta talk some sense into him.
Is important.
Oh god, that scar.
He'll be fine.
Same arm gets cut off in Village. The producers of this game just hate him. Alright, so we wanted to walk in front of that fridge to spawn the cop. If we didn't touch that door before, we would have had to touch the door before he spawned. So this game is a lot of trigger hunting, just like finding flags to progress stuff. And it's one of the annoying things about replaying this game because you have to be very specific sometimes about it. And as far as I'm aware, like Village has none of this, like trigger hunting things.
Yeah.
They're crazy trying to fucking kill
Now that I think about it, the fact that it's first person and you never see his face means that, like, it is the whole reason they can have him get BTFO'd so much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think if you had a new character and it was a third person that, you know, they could show that much.
I'll tell you whatever you want.
It's like, imagine if Leon got his arm cut off, even if, like, there was a way to put it back on. People would be like, no!
Yeah, also, like, all the established characters in Resident Evil, like, when you see another game with, like, Chris or Claire in it, it's like, the chances of them doing anything to them is so minute.
Yeah.
You just know that by the end of the game, they're probably going to be in the same place that they were originally. So that's why I think, like, later on, especially, like, the Revelation games in, like, 6, it's like, I'm tired of these characters.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good decision to make this as far removed from Resident Evil as possible until the literal last second.
Dude, since Chris is in Village...
Alright, so we're gonna go save real quick, because this Jack fight can go bad,
Yeah.
but...
So since Chris is in Village, the amount of things that he does on screen is absolute insanity. I think we talked about it before, but he's in 1, he's in Code Veronica, he's in 5, he's in 6, and he's in Village. All as playable characters. Like,
Yeah.
that's insanity!
I don't know why Chris is in this game so much. So, we're going to be doing the DLCs as well. And,
Oh yeah, he's in this game too.
Not a Hero is a actually really good DLC.
I like that one, yeah.
He's in that one. But yeah, I don't know why Chris is such a prominent, like, Leon and Claire and the other ones, Jill, only have showed up in, like, there's like a new Netflix series. And they're like in that, and you're like, okay, I guess.
Can you not be such an idiot?
It's my job. Do your job and tell me. Answer my questions. You're not gonna believe me if I told you. Try. Hey, put that door back. Put that door back. Wait!
Rip.
Gosh.
Hardcore. Alright, so the handgun's right in front of us. We're not going to use it if this goes well. Alright, so there's a lockpick over here. So the car keys is our main objective, and in this they lock it with the lockpick. So we want to draw out Jack over here and wait for him to start attacking. Alright, so I think we're probably good. As long as he doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good.
Dude, the first time I ever did this, I like messed it up so bad, and Jack ended up getting in the car and driving around and stuff. Did you ever have that happen?
Yes.
It's so crazy. He does like wheel, like I don't know what burnouts all around this place. It's insane.
Yeah, he does like 360 turns.
360s. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The freaking locker blocked me.
It blocked you.
Is this the same car that Ethan was driving? I never really realized. It has the same wood paneling. I don't know. It probably isn't. Hey there, Jack.
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many different things that can happen in this thing. I never saw this.
This is the safest way to do it. So despite what this looks like, we don't actually take damage to this.
Let's finish this, you and I.
Although this actually isn't over yet, but it pretty much is.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take you for a ride.
This is so weird. Like, Jack's such a...
I mean, he's literally just a murderous psycho, and that's why I love him.
Well, no, I meant like he was right next to you and could easily just slash your friggin' head off.
Oh, do you remember how this encounter ends? He's just insane. He just likes being insane. Cool. What?
Cool.
Oh my god, thank you, Doug. Alright, so there's our first aid spray. I might as well get it over here.
Yoink.
First aid med, I gotta call it that.
My car!
Alright, so Jack's gonna get out. And what we want to do, because he's so fast in this, that he can still damage us, we want to crouch in this corner looking away from him. And he's gonna grab us once. And we just want to go back into the corner again and put up our arms for the explosion. And we're done.
Wow.
So yeah, if Jack grabs you and does like a command grab, you're in danger on Madhouse, so you gotta play this super carefully. I wonder what...
What?! The beep?
Once again, Jack has Ethan in his hands, and literally decides not to kill Ethan. Oh god. This game, I love this game so much. I wish this game didn't have such a crappy second half, because I think this would be like the perfect game.
You know what game doesn't have a crappy second half?
Yeah, Village doesn't. And even the one portion that I don't like replaying anymore is amazing on the first playthrough, the Dollhouse segment. It's just, it's tiring doing it.
I even mentioned it in my thing, like, that's the only part of the replayability that's kind of lame.
Alright, so at this point, so one of the major differences with Madhouse is that they do change item layouts, including key items, sometimes, not a whole ton. But the first thing we need to get is the Scorpion key, and normally you have to go upstairs to get the shadow casting object, and then go back downstairs, open the hidden passageway, and then you go down to the basement through that roundabout way. So if we have 3 antique coins, we can just get the Scorpion Key right now, which we just have 3 antique coins right now. And, yeah, Jack's obviously not dead, but the second you have the Scorpion Key, he will respawn. So we want to get out of here immediately.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Hey there, bud.
That's unbelievable.
Alright, so real quick, we're going to be, like, spawn manipulation things. So there was a crawler molded that spawned around where I was at that pillar. So I wanted to spawn him and then back off and then go into the other room very slightly to despawn him. Because if you go too deep into that other room, another molded will spawn. So we had to play that very carefully.
Wow.
So we don't want that. We don't want first aid sprays.
He shoots himself in the head 5 seconds later. What's up, boy? Like if you just speed through it.
Yeah.
In